his parent, the parent who raised him, actually is not very rich. They spend all their saving, their life money, whole life money, spent on giving his son, even though was the real son, was not a real son. All of love and the money to support him to go to university. Okay? That's very, very great. However, Steve Jobs thinks that he cannot see the value in it because in the education system, he cannot find the value. He thinks that he feels kind of guilty. He was spending all of his parents' money, but he cannot find the value in it. So he made a very important decision in that time. He quit. So he didn't finish the college education. So you know that at that time, the life can be miserable, very, very, very difficult for a guy who didn't graduate from college. What thing they can do for make a living, for make money, okay? And then he talked about on and off, he go to the university and then he finally decided to quit. But he finds something he still loves in learning, not by studying some academic subject. Learning in, for example, he talked about some kind of special font, computer font. At that time, there is no computer font. We have we call it calligraphy, 书法, but it's an English calligraphy. The shape, what makes the beautiful font looks beautiful. They know how to draw that kind of beautiful font. And he learned that from the university. But this is not a science and mathematics, all academic stuff. No, it's just simply art. Okay? He gives us an idea, but he just loved that kind of things. And then he talked about his job. You know how maybe some of you are already familiar with how he started his job from garage. In garage. What is a garage? Garage is where you park your car. Usually you have if you have a house, you have another small room where you can park your car inside. He visits a friend. I believe it's called Woods. He wrote a book. But no, I'm not talking about a book. He visits a friend. They started the first computer, Macintosh, in the garage. And then they create a company from the very beginning, small company with maybe only two of them. And then later on become very, very successful Apple company. And when their company becomes so successful, he started to enjoy the success of his life. He got a fire. He was kicked out by his own company. He was fired. Very interesting story. So that's why I call it a legend. You know, legend is something sounds unbelievable. It's a fiction. But it's very, very incredible. He got fired by the company he started with. He was boss, but you know, when the company become bigger, they call the board. A lot of important people, they support the money, they can make a decision. So even though you are CEO, you have to listen. a group of other people who support, we call the board, 董事会. Why he got that fire? He got fired because his opinion, his idea is not consistent with, not agreed with by another important leader. So his life go down, up, down, up. When he was leaving, after he was leaving, he lived, what did he do? He was sad. So he talked about this story, very interesting. He created his own another company they call NEXT, Next. I was very excited talking about this story because I ever used the Next computer when I was at your age. That time I was in Taida, my lab, multimedia lab, my professor, they invested a lot of money in a very fancy computer for multimedia feature, much better than Unix, much better than Windows. And I find that fascinating. The company is Next, N-E-X-T. And then he created another company in that time. They do the animation. You know, a lot of now movie industry, they like to use the computer animation, right? Like Nemo, 还有那个什么 a lot of interesting created by a company called Pixar or Picasa? Pixar, right? 他有做什么？哪些有名的电影？海底总动员、怪兽什么玩具总动员。That was more than 10 years ago, but the technology was very, very good. Okay? And then, you know, that time, 10 years ago, Apple, when people talking about Apple, boo. Why? Because Microsoft is so strong, right? Everybody use Microsoft. And the company said, we need Steve Jobs. We need Steve Jobs. So they want him back, go back to his company. So he went back to his company, become the CEO again. But this time, it's different. You can see now, when Apple company have a new product they want to announce, maybe iPhone 4G, maybe a new iPod. All the world's attention is on that seminar. When they have a new product announced, a lot of people are waiting in line the night before, just simply want to have the first experience of that product. So they have created a trend. A lot of people, not just because love the idea of the Apple product, they are fan of Steve Jobs already. Okay? I'm not here to say, what the characteristic of Steve Jobs or innovation idea is. But I want you guys to look at his story. Actually, not quite successful. It's kind of rocky. Not all the way smooth, right? The worst part is happening several years ago. He was diagnostic. Doctor found out he has a cancer.